Let me see how I'm going to do this. My life just got major. Mommy and Major. Welcome to our playlist, all about my adventures as a new mom over 40. Check us out. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Me and Major. Hey, y'all. Hey. Welcome to another episode of My Life Just Got Major. I've been meaning to do this video for a while now. I have the side lamp going because my baby's asleep. As many of you guys know by now, I've had him. I was going to do this really cute video showing the things that I did the day of delivery, the day I was going in. However, a change of events happened, so let's go there. I said, I'm going to be very transparent on this. I told myself that I would be very transparent. And when it came to, stuff that I talk about on here. But here goes. May 23rd, 1920. No, not 1920, nothing. May 23rd, 2023. I was due to go into the hospital at 5 o'clock. I was due to go in the hospital at 5 o'clock that evening. So, to start the first part of my induction. And pardon me for being emotional. It's less now. We're a week out of postpartum, so hey, it is what it is, right? So I woke up that morning. It was my 42nd birthday. Hey. And I was feeling good. I went to my chiropractor appointment because the plan was always to have a vaginal birth. So I did everything I was supposed to do to have a vaginal birth. I did curb walking, which I have a video that I need to upload, me showing things that I was doing before I went in to have my baby. So I did curb walking. I did I always gotta look back at him, make sure he good. I did curb walking. I did squats. I did stretches and different things like that to help with opening up my pelvic. I also went to the chiropractor to open up my pelvic and everything, and just as a form of self-care. Honestly, I don't know why right here it looks so thin. Oh well. So on the 23rd, I went to the chiropractor. I had talked to my doctor because I wasn't sure if I needed to go see her earlier. I didn't know if I needed to see her on Monday because the 23rd was a Tuesday. When she contacted me, she said that to go in on the 23rd just so they can kind of check me out to her office. So they checked my blood pressure and it was high. They checked and I hadn't dilated yet. So the nurse practitioner was like, you need to go to the hospital right now. The doctor wants you to go to the hospital right now because your pressure is so high. And through my pregnancy, my pressure was not an issue. Because of my age and I have high blood pressure without being pregnant, they had me checking my blood pressure every day. So I had to keep a blood pressure log as well as a blood sugar glucose log. Every day I had to check my blood pressure. Every day I had to check my blood glucose 3 times. Well, I had to do resting and 2 hours after I ate. I had to do that throughout my pregnancy. Now my glucose would go up in spike, but they knew that would happen because I was pregnant. So that wasn't a big issue. They checked my blood pressure because of preeclampsia. And preeclampsia is something that pregnant women get. It swells up their feet, their hands, and from what I understand, it cuts off airway to the baby, and it can have dire effects on your liver and things like that. So look that up if you're really interested in knowing what preeclampsia is. So they really wanted to make sure I wasn't going to have preeclampsia. Now let's back this up. On the 8th of May, I was rushed to the hospital because of my blood pressure. And it had went down by the time I got to the hospital. So in the office, it was like 154 over 101. By the time I got to the hospital on the 8th of May, it was like 132, 134 over something reasonable. So now on the 23rd, when they making me go in there, I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm going in there. But first, I gotta go get my mom because my mom was here. And my mom, I had my car, so one of my girlfriends could have went got her, but I told the nurse practitioner, look at here, I'm going to get my mama. My bag was already packed, as you guys see in the video. So I just had to grab that and off to the hospital because I knew I wasn't coming home without a baby. So I went to the hospital. They checked me in. Went on and put me in labor delivery because it was like 11 or 12. And again, I was supposed to be there at 5. So whatever. They started giving me medicine so I can contract. They started giving me medicine so I can start my contractions on the 23rd. So the goal was to little one is waking up or something. Hey, stinker. Hey, stinker. Yeah, mommy. I think he'd be having baby mares or something. Anywho, so because they had 2 things that they can do because I wasn't dilated, and so initially, what they were supposed to do was do this thing. It's a string, and it softens your it softens your cervix. And it softens your cervix. So it softens your cervix. That was what they were gonna do. But then they decided not to do that. They decided to give me a pill to help me start contracting to open up my cervix. This is major. What's wrong, mommy? What's wrong? Yeah, mommy. Real life mother, right? Hey, my stinker. What's wrong? Okay, so back to what I was trying to say. He was there, so he know. Well, he was still in mommy's tummy. So because I hadn't dilated, what's wrong, Pumpkin? Are you hungry? I'll be right back. And I'm back. He just want to eat. There you go, stinker. Yeah, stinker. So, what happened? Oh, so because I wasn't dilated, they wanted to do another method, and it is a pill to help me to start contractions. So I did start contractions on the 23rd. That night I still hadn't dilated. But they didn't do the string thing to soften my cervix because they had did the other method that they thought would be best. Because on the 23rd, they had to figure out which method would be the best method. And, it's like throwing something against the wall and figuring out if it works or not. So, that Wednesday morning, which they were supposed to do anyway, I think it's called precaution, something like that. It's the induction medicine. And it's supposed to, start the heavy contractions and things like that to get you ready for labor. Well, I wasn't dilated. They went on and did it, but I did not dilate at all. So they went on with what they were going to do on Wednesday, because I was supposed to. The plan was to go into the hospital on Tuesday and probably have him on Wednesday. No, 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 that didn't happen. But what happened was my pressure started rising about midday. My pressure started rising, and they started doing protocols. So what I understand is different protocols. So they start with whatever blood pressure medicine you're on, and then they just keep upping the doses. So they did that. They did like three or four protocols, and then she said, your pressure is not going down. I have to put you on magnesium. Now, magnesium is supposed to lower your pressure, and it's for seizing. So I'm in the bed. In order to be on magnesium, I have to have a catheter in. Most times when they do the catheter, you have an epidural. I wasn't ready to have an epidural yet, so they went on and did the catheter. So we did the catheter, the magnesium. The magnesium made me sick, and I couldn't eat after that anyway. I couldn't eat. So the last time I really had something to eat was on the 23rd. On the 24th, the nurse told me not to eat anything big. She said if I get anything, get something that is not much. I said okay, and I listened. So I didn't eat heavy. So when they gave me the magnesium, it didn't bother me right away. But it started being that anytime I was moved, I would vomit. I would vomit every time I moved. So they moved me to the right side, I vomited. Because when they gave me the magnesium, they needed to check and make sure my baby's heart rate didn't go down too. And make sure my blood pressure was good, because they kept him on the monitor. So my pressure still was not lowering at all. It wasn't lowering. It went down just a little bit, then it went back up. It was climbing back up. So the nurse was like, I wasn't in pain to me. It was like minor cramps. Not minor cramps. It just felt like period cramps, and it wasn't bad period cramps to me. The contractions. They was like, yeah, you contracted. So the nurse said, maybe the contractions that you feel are spiking your blood pressure. And she said, if you get an epidural a lot of times lowers your blood pressure. So I talked to my doula. Yes, I had a doula. She had been there the whole time. So she was awesome. I have to have a video with just talking to her and talking about her. So that was later on that evening. They were like, do you want the epidural? And maybe about 4, 5, 6 o'clock, something like that. So I said, yeah, let's go ahead and do the epidural. Everybody that was in there, my mom, my sister, friends, and we all agreed, yeah, the epidural was the right thing, because to try to see if it would lower my blood pressure. Epidural lowered my blood pressure. So that was the thing that did it. Not the medicines, not the blood. It had got so bad that with my blood pressure, she would give me medicine. She'll be like, okay, I'm about to check your blood pressure. Okay. And then she'll go back to the IV and put, she was giving me stuff via mouth, and she was giving me stuff in the IV for my blood pressure. Yeah, it was intense. My mom was like, why they keep giving you all this medicine? This don't make sense. And it was just really, they was giving me stuff for my blood pressure, because my blood pressure was going up. It was high. It was 180 something. I know. Maybe it was 190 something too, and I don't realize it. So that's what happened. So that was Wednesday. Wednesday night, they were like, okay, we're going to do the string that we were supposed to do Tuesday night. We're going to go ahead and do the stringy thing. I can't call it. I just call it the stringy thing. So they did that Wednesday night. And I still didn't dilate come Thursday morning. I still didn't dilate. So they're doing everything they could to cause me to dilate, or, for this baby to come. Now, something that I missed was Wednesday, they were going to do a balloon. So they were talking about doing an epidural on Wednesday morning, but they decided to still follow the route that they had decided to do, what they had planned to do anyway for Wednesday, which was the Pitocin. So with that, so we're now Thursday morning. What do we do? Doctor's like, let's keep pushing the Pitocin to see what happens. And so that's what they did. Still didn't dilate. So midday they were thinking about doing the balloon. So the balloon manually opens your cervix. My doula had came in that morning and she said, Anya, let's get real about this. You may have to have a C-section. I didn't want a C-section. I wanted a vaginal birth. She said they've tried everything and they've done everything. And nothing's happening. Because I had the peanut ball and I had been sitting on the other ball before I had to get the epidural. Like, they really had tried everything. So about 4 or 5 o'clock, the decision was made to do the C-section. Now, I wasn't able to. They stopped the Pitocin about 1, 2, 3, something like that. And my doctor allowed me to eat something, but again, the nurse was like, "Don't eat nothing big. Eat small." And that's what I did. I had some Cheerios. But guess what? I ended up throwing it up because because they moved me. It was really like that. Like, I couldn't drink water. I couldn't hold water down. I would vomit it. Like, everything was coming up. Everything. So Thursday evening, well, we had decided, I was like, okay, C-section it is. And baby, I had some warriors that was in that room. We prayed because I understood that a C-section is major surgery. And I was scared. And I was very nervous about it. And I was nervous about my blood pressure. And I was nervous about my baby. And they made me feel okay about this situation. And I think 2 of them had C-sections. So they made me feel calm. They came in and gave me the other epidural and stuff, and wheeled me into the room. Bright lights, of course, into the surgery room. I couldn't feel nothing. They said I was gonna feel pressure. I didn't really feel the pressure, to be honest with you. And it was like, he's out. So when they wheeled me back there, when he came out, he didn't cry much. They say he was shook, so he came out like that. My poor little baby. I say he went from shadows, dark places and shadows, to bright lights. I know he was like, what is going on here? So yeah. He my doula, she was taking pictures for me. She took some pictures, and she was like, "Do you hear him?" He just went, like he was just making a noise. I ain't gonna lie, I was falling asleep on the table because I couldn't do nothing. What am I gonna do? I mean, I was sitting there talking to, um, my doula, but I'm falling asleep on the table. And so then they checked to make sure everything was good. And my doctor came in and she said, you have to walk. You have to get up and walk. You got to move and different things. And I said, okay. Well, I couldn't do anything until after the magnesium. So I had to have the magnesium on for 24 hours after I delivered, just for season purposes. And the catheter had to stay in too. So I didn't let him stay in the room with me the first night because I couldn't do nothing to help him. I couldn't move. And by that time, they hadn't gave me this sticker at the back of my ear, my right ear, for nausea. I was so happy about that. I guess they couldn't give it to me while I was still pregnant. So once I got unpregnant, that's my word, unpregnant. Once I had him, they was able to give me the sticker behind my ear, and I was able to keep down food. I was able to keep it down, so I was happy about that. So I was able to eat and stuff. They started giving me stool softener then. Stool softener, because I hadn't had a bowel movement since the 23rd, and now we're on the 26th. Right. So 26, which was that. It was one on Thursday. That was that Friday. That afternoon, I was able to get the catheter out, thank the Lord, and then they moved me to postpartum because I was still in labor and delivery because you couldn't. Postpartum, they don't do all the stuff that labor and delivery do, and I had to have people to help me because I couldn't do it for myself. So yeah, that's what happened. That's my birthing story. Once I got to postpartum, and that night, I tried to walk a little bit. I got up out my bed and tried to walk, go to the bathroom. I was stiff. I was very stiff. That next morning, I got up, and what I remember is I was, what's wrong, Pumpkin? It's a mommy's baby. He is knocked out. I woke up and I was like, they brought him to me so I can feed him. And I fed him. I am breastfeeding. So I did, I got up. I wanted to walk the hallway, but all of a sudden it wasn't even sad. I just started crying. And the nurses were like, it's fine, you're good. They made me feel good. They really helped me keep my dignity because you can't do a lot for yourself, So I dealt with that. That was good. I didn't have pride didn't take over, so that was a good thing. What else? Part of this. Oh, so that was Saturday. So Friday, I went to postpartum on Friday night. So Saturday, I got up and I kept getting up and walking. My mom left on Saturday. So I was getting up, walking as much as I could. I would get stiff if I sat down for too long. But because I had blood pressure, they wanted to check. They was checking my fluid, and I had to drink enough fluid to just go through my body. So I guess between getting up and feeding my baby every 2-3 hours, they had me every 2 hours feeding him, and going to the bathroom, that must have helped me just get better with everything. I was able to have my I didn't have to have a bowel movement before I left the hospital, but I did have a bowel movement Saturday night to Sunday morning, which was good. And they kept asking, did you have gas? I was like, I didn't have gas in the bowel movement. They're like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah. So they had me on, like I said, stool softeners. I'm still on stool softeners because they still don't want me to strain. Sunday got here and my baby he didn't want to eat. Saturday he was latching real good. Sunday he didn't want to eat. So I was having issues with that. He didn't want to eat. So they was wondering why. And then he was like, before you leave the hospital, they can't be 10% of their, is it 10% of their weight? Something 10% lost. They couldn't have lost 10% of their weight. And he was close to it. So they wanted to supplement his milk. Also, they was checking his blood sugar. Oh my gosh, it was horrible. His little feet, his little baby feet. It was just bad. So he had to get that done because he was losing weight and they was wondering why he wasn't eating. So I had to start supplementing his milk. Now I started feeling bad. I felt sad for myself because I was wondering what was the problem, that it was me. And although people will tell you it's not you, you still feel a sense of ownership, you know? And I felt like my body had betrayed me. Like, how you, first of all, I didn't dilate. Second of all, now my baby has to get stuck in his foot and his feet is already tender. And yeah, because his blood sugar levels. So bless the Lord, because he was supposed to get circumcised on Saturday. He ended up on Sunday, but he ended up getting circumcised on Monday before we left. So I was in the hospital for 6 days, Tuesday to Monday, Memorial Day. And we were able to leave. I've been home, just me and him. I had places I can go, but I wanted to do it myself. The thought is, and I don't know why I'm crying. The thought is that let me see if I can do it by myself first. And that's how I was in the hospital. And then I'll ask for help. I didn't have to take any narcotics after giving birth and everything. So I've been on Motrin 600. I think it's 600 or 500 Motrin, but I've been on a schedule. So I haven't been in pain. And like I said, I have a prescription for narcotics, but I didn't get it filled. And while I was at the hospital, I didn't take it either. Because again, let me see how I can work with this. And I wasn't in any pain. And I will walk and try to move around. And my whole theory is, while I was in the hospital, was I'm gonna do it while I have help. And if I can't do it, then they're gonna come help me. And even now, I have places I can go if I need to, but I have to get used to being me and him. So, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that. So it hasn't been bad since I've been home. Yesterday, today is Friday. Yesterday was 1 week. He was 1 week old. We went to the doctor. He is 3 ounces to his birth weight, which I am happy about. So it made me feel good. Everything just real good. He's a little bit more longer. He was 19 3/4, I think. Now he's 19 and a half with these long feet and long legs. He's gonna be tall. What I was gonna say? Now he got the hiccups. He keeps the hiccups. Everybody's like, sleep when he sleeps, sleep when he sleep. Sometimes that's impossible because you still got stuff to do, But I sleep when he sleep at night. Formula, he sleeps roughly 3 hours. On breast milk, it's 1.5 to 2 hours. So I toggle with that and I sleep when he is sleeping at night. Most of the time I stop. Like I think I said today, from 10 to 10 is me and his time to sleep. That's our sleeping time. And although I might get waking up out my sleep, it's okay. I had insomnia while I was pregnant anyway, so felt like my body was getting ready for it. And I get up in the middle of the night and have to keep using the bathroom, and my sleep will be broken. So my body's used to it, and if I need to take a nap in the middle of the day, I do. Ooh. So that was good. So that's my birthday story. I wouldn't change nothing for the world. Maybe my blood pressure going up. I'll change that. The C-section, I am walking. Everybody's like, you're walking upright. And I'm like, yeah. I'm not supposed to. It's just so funny because everybody's like, this girl walking upright. You moving around real good. I'm like, thank you. I'm not pushing myself. No, I mean, if I can't do it, I can't do it. If I sit for a long time, I do get stiff. And then I'll just, walk it off. Try to keep bending up. And then I just keep doing that. That's what I do. So, yeah. So, hope you was able to follow this story, this journey. He is knocked out, y'all. Knocked out. But he got hiccups. When he have hiccups, I have to use the bathroom. He wants to be on me. He may need to be changed. But he did just eat. So that's why he knocked out. He's a good baby. He doesn't just randomly cry. He cries whenever he needs his diaper changed, or is hungry. I had to switch his formula because it was making him so gassy. But I do have the Mollicon drops, and trying to see if they were working too with that actual milk. But the doctor gave me some samples of some milk yesterday, so we're gonna try that. I was doing Similac. She gave me some Enfamil samples, so we're gonna see how that works and go from there. I did get placenta pills. I looked up and seen them. I did get placenta pills. They are helping. I feel with my emotions, I'm not crying as much. I'm already a crybaby, so I really don't need to be even extra emotional, right? I feel like they're working, so I'm happy about that. And yeah, that's it. So I hope that like I said, you was able to follow this and you got a peek into what happened with having this little one. All right, so I'll see y'all later. Bye.